Good morning, everybody. Sorry, we've had some technical difficulties. We figured it out. Figured it out. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We had some technical difficulties. I think it's finally going. My name is Chris. Good morning, Amanda. Good morning, Mary. Sorry, we had some issues this morning. I don't know why it wouldn't work, but we figured it out. It's Friday to the day. It's our boys' last day of school today. And they are still asleep. They're not wanting to get up this morning. My name is Chris. My wife will be here in a second to join us. And we are doing Bible recap, reading through the Bible. We are on day 87, Joshua chapter 19 through 21 is where we are. I'm going to grab my iPad and I'll start reading in just a second. Okay. My glasses are not here, which means my lovely wife probably used them somewhere yesterday. So I'll have to wear hers this morning. Let's see. Where is... There you go. How you guys doing this morning? How you doing on this Friday? Got any big plans for the weekend, Memorial Day weekend? We thought we were going to be at the lake, but that didn't happen. We actually may go for just a day. just to go hang out for a little while. Just trying to figure out because we got all the animals, so that makes a big difference. So I'm not sure what we're going to do. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. You guys are being really quiet this morning. Nobody saying anything. There we go. That's good. That's nice just to have a chill weekend. And you get a 3-day weekend, right? All right. I'm going to start this. My wife's pretty glasses on me. Here we go. Joshua 19, the inheritance for Simeon. The second lot came out for Simeon, for the tribe of the people of Simeon, according to their clans, and their inheritance was in the midst of the inheritance of the people of Judah. And they had for their inheritance Beersheba, Sheba, Malda, Hazar, Shul, Bala, Ezem, El Tolad, Bethel, Horman, Ziglag, Beth, Markaboth, Hazar, Susa. Man, where's my wife when I need her? Beth, Labath, and Sharuan. 13 cities with their villages. Ain, Rimmon, Ether, and Ashan. 4 cities with their villages. Together, all the villages around these cities, as far as Baalath Bear, Ramah of the Negeb. This was the inheritance of the tribe of the people of Simeon according to their clans. Sorry, I know that was terrible, but the inheritance of the people of Simeon formed part of the territory of the people of Judah, because the portion of the people of Judah was too large for them. The people of Simeon obtained an inheritance in the midst of their inheritance. Thank you, Mary. The inheritance of Zebulun. The third lot came up for the people of Zebulun according to their clans, and the territory of their inheritance reached as far as the Sarid. Then their boundary goes up westward and onto Maril and touches Dabsheth. Then the brook that is east of Joknehim, from the Sanrid, it goes in the other direction, eastward towards the sunrise, to the boundary of Chisloth Tabor. For there it goes to Debroth, then up to Japhia. From there, it passes along on the east toward the sunrise to Gath Hefer, to Eth Kazin, and going on to Rimion, it bends toward Nia. Then on the north, the boundary turns about to Hanath, and it ends at the valley of Tahil, I don't know, and Kata, and Nahala, Shimron, Idala, and Bethlehem. 12 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the people of Zebulun, according to their clans. These cities with their villages. I know all that's important, according to my wife. And I know it is because it's in the Bible, but good night. Good morning, Shiloh. The fourth lot came out of Issachar for the people of Issachar according to their clans. Their territory included Jezreel, Chezuluth, Shunem, Hapharaim, I know I'm not saying these right, Shion, Anaharath, Rabith, Kishon, Ebez, Remeth, Enganim, En Hedah, Beth Pazaz. The boundary also touches Tabor, Shahazamua of Beth Sheesh. This has been terrible, and I'm not sure what you did with my glasses, so I have yours on. Thank you. My wife peeks around the corner. Gave me a weird look. She saw me with these glasses. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the people of Ishkar, according to their clans, the city of their villages. Oh, Jesus. The fifth lot came out for the tribe of the people of Asher, according to their clans. The territory included Helkath, Halai, Beaton, Akshaph, Elimelech, Hamad, Mishal. On the west, it touches Carmel and Shihor Lebeneth. Then it turns eastward. It goes to Beth Dagon and touches Zebulun and the valley of Iftahil. Northward to Beth Emek and Neail. Then it continues to the north to Kabul. Why are you checking take a picture of me? Yeah, you are. Mm-hmm. I wish this helped me say the words better, but it doesn't. I can't say them like you, even wearing your glasses. Will you plug this in? Where's that? That right there. My iPad's gonna die. It's on this side right here. All right, I just lost where I was at. I'll start in verse 28. Ebron, Rehob, Haman, Canaan, as far as Sidon the Great. Then the boundary turns to Ramah, reaching to the fortified city of Tyre. Then the boundary turns to Hosah, and it ends at the sea. Mahalab, Azgzib, Yuma, Apek, and Rehob. 22 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the people of Asher, according to their clans, these cities with their villages. Did you do this on purpose? Like you saw this and so I would have to read it? Don't you did? The sixth lot came out for the people of Naphtali. For the people of Naphtali, according to their clans, and their boundary ran from Helif, from the oak in Zananim, and at Adam Negeb and Jabneel, as far as Lucum, and it ended at the Jordan. Then the boundary turns westward to Asnoth, Tabor, and goes from there to Hukok, touching Zebulun at the south and Asher on the west, and Judah on the east of the Jordan. The fortified cities are Ziddim, Zer, Hamath, Rakath, Chinnereth, Adam, Raham, Hazor, Kadesh, Edrei, En-Hazor, Yaron, Migdal, Horem, Beth Anath, and Beth Shemesh. Now you're laughing at me. I know. Yeah, you are. 19 cities with their villages. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the people of Naphtali, according to their clans, the cities, and their villages. Oh my Jesus. Jesus. The seventh, huh?
You're doing a great job.
The seventh lot came out for the tribe of the people of Dan, according to their clans and the territory of its inheritance, including Zorah, Eshtaol, Irish, Shemish, Shalabin, Ahalan, Ithla, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltaki, Gibbethon, Balath, Jahud, Ben Barek, Gath, Rimmon, Me, Jargon, Jarkon, and Rukkon, with the territory over against Joppa. When the territory of the people of Dan was lost to them, the people of Dan went up and fought against them, Leshem, and after capturing it and striking it with the sword, they took possession of it and settled in it, calling Leshem Dan after the name Dan, their ancestor. Like, how are you going to have all these names and then Dan? I mean, like, Dan. What's up, Dan? What's up?
What's up?
Gath Rahman. Hey, Dan. Anyway, just funny. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the people of Dan, according to their clans. These cities with their villages. Inheritance for Joshua. When they had finished disturbing several territories of the land, distributing, when they had finished distributing their several territories of the land as inheritances, the people of Israel gave an inheritance among them to Joshua, the son of Nun. By command of the Lord, they gave him the city that he asked, Timnath Serah, in the hill country of the Ephraim. And he built the city and settled in it. These are the inheritance of Eleazar, the priest, and Joshua, the son of Nun, and the heads of their fathers' houses of the tribes of the people of Israel, distributing by lot at Shiloh before the Lord at the land at the entrance of the tent of meeting. So they finished dividing the land. Amen. Finished dividing it.
I thought we were done yesterday.
Yeah, clearly. Still not, probably. Are you going to read or you want me to read?
I'm going to barely hang in here with these lights. I'm going to actually turn that off.
Fine. I know it. Sorry, Jackie, that we had some technical issues. I don't know.
We set up a live that was not.
It wouldn't work. I had to go back in and redo the whole thing.
I don't know what. It was just such a weird thing. Good morning, guys. I have a headache that is healing in Jesus' name. You know, when the hair being fixed and going to sleep and you wake up and it's a headache and the hair needs to not have any product in it immediately. I know you know. Some of you know.
You know. I don't know.
Mary said you're doing a great job.
I know. She's always nice. Then the Lord said to Joshua, say to the people of Israel, appoint the cities of refuge, of which I spoke to you through Moses, that the manslayer who strikes any person without intent or unknowingly may flee there. They shall be for you a refuge from the avenger of blood. He shall flee to one of the cities and shall stand at the entrance of the gate of the city and explain his case to the elders of the city. Then they shall take him into the city and give him a place, and he shall remain with them. And if the avenger of blood pursues him, they shall not give up the manslayer into his hand, because he struck his neighbor unknowingly and did not hate him in the past. And he shall remain in the city until he stood before the congregation for judgment, until the death of him who is high priest at the time. Then the manslayer may return to his own town and his own home, to the town from which he fled. I'm just trying to
What is this about?
figure out, like, I guess, I know things can happen on accident, but it's not like they had cars. It's not like they had guns. It's like, how do you accidentally kill somebody? I guess maybe if you're arguing and you were fighting.
It seems to have happened a lot in the Old Testament.
Yeah, it's just like,
there was always this, if it was an accident,
maybe
if you meant to.
accidentally punched him too hard. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking back then with the things they had,
Mm-hmm.
the accident part would
Be hard.
be fairly difficult. So they set apart Kadesh in Galilee, in the hill country of Naphtali, and Shechem, in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kirath Arab, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. And beyond the Jordan, east of Jericho, they appointed Bezir, in the wilderness on the tableland from the tribe of Reuben, and Ramoth in Gilead from the tribe of Gad, and Golan and Bashan from the tribe of Manasseh. These were the cities designated for the people of Israel and for the stranger sojourning among them. That one who killed a person without intent could flee there, so that he might not die by the hand of the avenger of blood, till he stood before the congregation.
Go ahead.
All right, chapter 21. Then the head of the cities and pasture lands allotted to Levi. Really? Then the heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites came to Eleazar the priest and said to Joshua the son of Nun, and to the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the people of Israel. It's also interesting how there's certain people that when they say their name, it's followed by who they're the son of. So clearly that's like, there's something,
some kind of positioning.
Yeah, positioning, importance of that, because it's not everybody they do that to.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and they said to them at Shiloh in the land of Canaan, the Lord commanded through Moses that we be given cities to dwell in, along with their pasture lands of our livestock. So by command of the Lord, the people of Israel gave to the Levites the following cities and pasture lands out of their inheritance. The lot came out for the clans of the Kothites. So those Levites who were descendants of Aaron and priest and Aaron the priest received by lot from the tribes of Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin 13 cities, and the rest of the Kohathites received by lot from the clans of the tribe of Ephraim, from the tribe of Dan, and the half tribe of Manasseh, 10 cities. The Gershonites received by lot from the clans of the tribe of Issachar, from the tribe of Asher, from the tribe of Naphtali, and from the half tribe of Manasseh. In Bashan, 13 cities. The Merarites, according to the clans, received from the tribe of Reuben and the tribe of Gad and the tribe of Zebulun 12 cities. These cities and their pasture lands the people of Israel gave by lot to the Levites, as the Lord had commanded through Moses. Out of the tribe of the people of Judah and the tribe of the people of Simeon, they gave the following cities mentioned by name, which went to the descendants of Aaron, one of the clans of the Kohathites, who belonged to the people of Levi, since the lot fell to them first. They gave them Kirath Araba, is that how you say it? Being the father of Anak. This is Hebron in the hill country of Judah, along with the pasture lands around it. But the fields of the city and its villages have been given to Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, as his possession. So I missed, a couple days with all the dog situation. So I'm assuming by this they came in and took over a whole bunch of cities.
Yes.
So it's like, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, I missed that. So
You need to watch the replay.
watch
Or just do the recaps.
that all of a sudden now the Levi's are, and like all these people are coming in now. I guess now that they've come in and now they're dividing up all this land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been dividing for chapters.
Right. So Levites are like, hey, here we are. Don't forget. All right. And to the descendants of Aaron, the priest, they gave Hebron, the city refuge for the manslayer, with its pasture lands, Libnah with its pasture lands, Jatir with its pasture lands, Ishtemoa with its pasture lands, Halan with its pasture lands, Debir with its pasture lands, and with its pasture lands, Jatah with its pasture lands, Beth Shemesh with its pasture lands, 9 cities of these 2 tribes. Then out of the tribe of Benjamin, Gibeon with its pasture lands, Geba with its pasture lands, and Toth with its pasture lands, and Almon with its pasture lands. 4 cities. The cities of the descendants of Aaron, the priests, were in all 13 cities with their pasture lands. Man, I thought I was done with this. As to the rest of the Kothites, belonging to the Kothite clans of the Levites, the cities allotted to them were out of the tribe of Ephraim. To them were given Shechem, the city of refuge for the manslayer, with its pasture lands in the hill country of Ephraim, Zir with its pasture lands, Kibzim with its pasture lands, Beth Haran with its pasture lands, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Dan, Eltiki with its pasture lands. Why are you laughing at? Gibbethon with its pasture lands, Ajalon with its pasture lands, Gath Rimmon with its pasture lands, 4 cities. And out of the half tribe of Manasseh, Tanakh with its pasture lands, and Gath Rimmon with its pasture lands, 2 cities. The city of the clan of the rest of the Kothites were 10 in all with their pasture lands. Pasture lands. Don't tell me you don't. Where am I? And to the Gishonites, one of the clans of the Levites were given out half the, Gershonites. Now you're going to start. Wait a minute. Did I read that already? No, I didn't. And to the Gershonites, one of the clans of the Levites were given out of the half tribe of Manasseh, Golan and Bashan with its pasture lands with the city refuge. Wait, did I read that? And Besh Tehorah with its pasture lands, 2 cities. Now the tribe of Ishkar, Kishon with its pastures land, Debrath with its pastures land, Jarmuth with its pasture lands. Did I read this? I didn't. In Ganim with its pasture lands, 4 cities out of the tribe of Asher, Mishal with its pasture lands, Abdon with its pasture lands, Helkath with its pasture lands, and Rehob with its pasture lands, 4 cities, and out of the tribe of Naphtali, Kadesh and Galilee with its pasture lands, the city of refuge for the manslayer, Hamath Dor with its pasture lands, and Carton with its pasture lands, 3 cities. The cities of the several clans of the Gershonites were in all 13 cities with their pasture lands. Man, it's making my eyes water. Trying not to. And to the rest of the Levites, the Merarite clans, were given out of the tribe of Zebulun, Joachim, with its pasture lands, Kartah with its pasture lands, Dimnah with its pasture lands, Naphtali with its pasture lands, 4 cities. And out of the tribe of Reuben, Bazar with its pasture lands, Jahaz with its pasture lands, Kedemoth with its pasture lands, Mephatah, no, that ain't right. How do you say that? Methath. I don't know. I'm gonna with its pasture lands, 4 cities, and out of the tribe of Gad, Ramoth in Gilead, Gilead with its pasture lands, and the city refuge for the manslayer. That's a lot for the manslayer. I'm just saying. Mahanaim with its pasture lands, Heshbon with its pasture lands, Jazer with its pasture lands, 4 cities in all. All asked for the cities of the several Merarite clans. That is the remainder of the clans of the Levites. Those allotted to them were in all 12 cities. The city of Levites in the midst of the possession of the people of Israel were in all 48 cities with their pasture lands. These cities each had its pasture lands around it. So it was with all these cities. Thus the Lord gave to Israel all the land that he swore to give their fathers. And they took possession of it, and they settled there. And the Lord gave them rest on every side, just as he had sworn to their fathers. None of all their enemies had withstood them, for the Lord had given all their enemies into their hands. Not one word of all the good promises that the Lord had made to the house of Israel had failed. All came to pass.
Shopping.
Man. Thank you, Jesus. All right.
Bright
Why
light.
is it so dark in here?
Because my head is hurting and the bright light is. I need like some sunglasses on. I have to go back and just listen for now. Can you see that?
Yeah. Manage.
Would you stop? Do all things without complaining, murmuring.
I don't want to hear about your headache.
You asked me why it was dark in here.
I was going to use my
I have a headache that's healing. What do you need?
What do I do with my phone? I was going to use my flashlight on my phone. Can I see? She just got all the light off in here.
The light.
Joshua. Okay, so here's a recap. All right, so we made it through. I made it through. Thank you for bearing with me through the butchering of all the cities, or all the tribes, I should say, and the cities. So now we are going to read the recap. So what we know is God gave them all the cities. They took it over just as he promised. That's what we know. All right. So Teresa says, good morning. Popping in on the way to the doctor. I get the results of my test today. So pray. So definitely be praying for you today, Teresa. Thank you for letting us know. All right. Here we go. Today we continue looking at the land allotments for the tribes.
Put a light beam on the screen.
They've been waiting 40 years for this. They've been fighting for this quite literally. These assignments are where they'll build their lives and raise their families. And for the Israelites, this isn't a temporary placement. The land is marked out to be the home of their tribe forever, provided they keep up with their end of the covenant they made with God. Since many of the ways these places, I'm sorry, but I gotta have it over here. Since many of the ways these places are referred to in Scripture mean nothing to us, I'll offer a short description of each place we see today. Imagine you're one of the 7 tribes who hasn't gotten their land yet, and you're waiting to find out where your family will live. Simeon gets assigned land in the middle of Judah's plot of the desert in the south. Zebulun gets a tiny plot in the north, and it's the smallest plot besides Benjamin's, but it's lush green area with lots of plants and flowers. If you look at a map, you may notice that Zebulun gets the city of Bethlehem. But there are 2 Bethlehems in the promised land. And I'm assuming Jesus was born in the one just outside Jerusalem. Ishkar also gets a small, fertile area near the Sea of Galilee and the Jordan River. Asher gets the Mediterranean coastline to the north, some of which belongs to the Lebanon of today. Naphtali gets the mountainous north, including a mountain range that reaches over 9,000 feet high. You can ski there if you visit Israel in the winter. The people from the tribe of Dan get a gorgeous coastline area near a major port city called Joppa, which is adjacent to the modern-day Tel Aviv. But Dan loses his land later, and they relocate to a part of Naphtali's plot in the north. Stay tuned to find out how and why that happens. The plot of land where they eventually relocate is a gorgeous nature preserve today, covered with trees and rivers and wildlife. Both of the places where Dan lives are prime locations, but they are kind of a terrible tribe, as we'll see later. They are kind of a terrible tribe, as we see later. Since Joshua was one of the 2 spies who believed God 45 years earlier, he gets to choose where he wants to live. Like a gentleman, he lets everyone else get their land first. He chooses a hilly area in Ephraim's land, just north of Jerusalem, in a somewhat isolated area. He knows his years are drawing to a close, so he chooses a good spot for quiet and solitude. Topographic diversity of this little nation is shocking. It may only be the size of New Jersey, but it covers a wide range of climates and altitudes, from snow-capped Mountain Hermon to the lowest spot on Earth, the Dead Sea, which is at 1,400 feet below sea level. Land allotment determines nearly everything about the lives of the Israelites. Their climate and scenery, the food available to them, their job opportunities, and how far they have to travel to get to the tabernacle in Jerusalem. Their future capital. Life for a Simeonite in the southern desert would be the opposite for a life of the Benjamite who lives in the city of the mountains of Jerusalem. And for a Naphtaliite, who wakes up to flowers and palm trees along the Sea of Galilee, or for a Manassite who watches the sunset over the Mediterranean Sea every night. After the land is distributed, it's time to set up the cities of refuge, the area where a manslayer, someone who accidentally kills someone, can live without fear of retribution. Cities of refuge are less like prisons and more like safe houses. But the manslayer isn't allowed to leave until the high priest dies. God intentionally spreads the cities of refuge throughout the tribe so that a manslayer will have a good chance of reaching one of them before someone tries to retaliate. God thinks of everything. The Levites are also distributed among the cities. The Levites are also distributed among the tribes, kind of like local pastors. It's so crazy to me, like how intentional God was about having a place for people to go that accidentally killed somebody. It's very interesting. So, which definitely makes you think it happened
A lot.
quite often.
Yeah, it's like such a big.
Um,
There's so many
'cause
other reasons that you could have a safe house.
yeah.
So many other reasons.
Today's God shot. And what is yours? God shows us so much of his character in accomplishing all this for the Israelites. Not just generosity and faithfulness, but strength, power, and persistent love, forgiveness and grace and mercy. God ushered them into the promised land. Despite themselves, he has given them everything that they need. But most important of all is himself, because he is where the joy is. Of course, no one now, and going back and rereading and kind of thinking through this differently, and you look at all the different lands, and some are up in the mountains and some are along the coast, and then some are kind of in the desert. Yeah. Excuse me. You wonder, just because of the past of the Israelites and how they reacted to certain things, if that did not cause issues at some point. People being jealous of where they were put. Somebody like, hey, I wanted to be in the mountain. Or
that's much in the sky. That's sky.
Yeah. Okay. Morning, JC Bear.
Good morning, Bear.
She just comes on and says, good morning. He's where the joy is. I'm in and I'm out. Peace out. Just where they're placed. Again, I mean, obviously God was very strategic, and how he distributed the Levites throughout all the cities, which means that tribe got broke up. I guess they weren't really considered a tribe, but they were. But got broke up through all different tribes. Just very strategic and everything.
That's so interesting to me, that breaking them up among everyone. Like pastors, it said?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because that was, their responsibility when they had to attend a meeting.
Right.
Was to pray and oversee people and help people. So
instead of everybody coming to you, you just get spread out and divided among everybody. I wonder if there was like one for every place.
Well, I mean, it says,
or maybe
distributed among the tribes. So,
however, maybe it was based on size, like the land was. Like if they needed another for more people.
Chase, she needs to be careful what she says on here.
What'd she say?
Sorry, I fell back asleep waiting for the lice.
What?
Instead of the live. And Jackie said, I'm sure you meant to say live, JC.
Yesterday,
she was talking about being naked, and I saw that.
We're literally talking about the thing, the letter, and she said, well, you can just hear her saying it too, very matter of fact. Well, he says he's near to where his name is, so I'm gonna be naked with his name or something.
I saw that
on me, and I was like, that's not
appropriate.
Seems weird. And I was like, Jace, what are you trying to say? I'm confused. And she doubled down on it. She said, I said what I said, or I meant what I said, or something. I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. Now she's doubled down on it. Then she goes, just to be sure, I put my glasses on and I had written naked instead of marked. I'm gonna be marked by his name. I'm going to be naked by his name. I'm going to be marked by his name.
I mean, lice.
I think everybody was like, what is she doing being naked by his name?
I don't know.
Oh, gosh.
All right. So I mean, if you're the Israelites, like being after all this, you've watched your, all the forefathers who didn't come in, and then you finally come in. You fight to get all your stuff, and God promises you the land. So I'm sure I mean, there's has to be a part. No matter where you went, you were grateful because now you have your own place.
Yeah.
You would think that would be true. That God, why they got put where they got put, I don't know. Besides, I know a few people like Joshua who got to pick. There were certain people, but even he waited
But she said he let the others pick first.
first. Yeah, he waited and picked.
Which is wild because it was such a big determining thing about you, where you were. So,
Well, but then that begs the question: was it? I mean, obviously it
well,
was
she said it
because
was.
right, but and it also said the reason it was he was older, so he knows like his time is probably drawing near, so it's just like like whatever, like I've done my job, I've fought the fight.
Never mind everybody going with me.
Yeah.
I need some mountains.
Yeah, I fought the fight. I've brought the people here, and so. Didn't Moses map out where they were supposed to live? And maybe it missed that. Maybe it was already decided ahead of time, which it may have. But that would make sense because the way God always directed Moses like that. So maybe it was already an assigned thing. But it does say that they all distributed to certain places, and then Joshua waited to the end. Says today we continue looking at the land allotments for the tribes. So if that's true, if they were, so I guess Joshua, I'm assuming, and Aaron like distributed, or not Aaron, but Caleb. They distributed, told everybody where to go, I guess. It wasn't like a free for all that they were assigned, which would make more sense because that would have been probably a mess for everybody to pick, because then it probably would have started all kinds of fighting. So it would make more sense that God would have been much more organized and and have everything allotted to where they were supposed to go. Because otherwise, I think that would have probably been a train wreck. So that definitely makes more sense.
I want to show you guys this. Give me one sec. There. Isn't that neat? It shows you where it's all located. And you can tell by the way she's talking about it, how she's been there. We got to go, guys. It's really cool.
All right. Any got shots? I'm still intrigued. Use a different word today. Intrigued with the whole the safe places for people that accidentally killed people, as if this was a very common thing and happened very often. Because of all the things that were set up, like that was something that was mentioned, and there were several of them, and like God was very intentional, like what she had said about having it somewhere where it was close enough where people could get to without the Avenger, getting a hold of them. So it's very strategic and very intentional. So I'm just intrigued by how often that happened and for like how. I mean, I guess, in the mountain thing, maybe you accidentally push somebody and I don't know. It's very interesting. All right. Well, survived my reading of all the craziness of the tribes and the cities. Thanks for being patient with me.
You did a great job. It doesn't say that Moses mapped it out. It's interesting. It doesn't.
Well, I mean, the way it was,
and the way she describes it is they chose where. But people came to and said, "Don't forget us," or
right.
"Can we have our land?" So somebody.
I feel like Joshua and Caleb were the ones
divvying it up,
kind of making sure people went, which I would think they would have got that from Moses, because, but or it had to be Moses or God. I mean, for sure, I would think, because I just can't imagine it was random, because I feel like that'd have been just chaos, and like the land run, like just insanity. With that many people, it would have had to be, I feel like, more organized, but I need to go back and reread it. God shot. He knows what's best and provides a place for each of us. So true. Thank you, Jackie. Shiloh, I love that. He makes provision for everything. Ultimate contingency planner. Just like we all were born. We don't get that choice, but we are placed in birth where he wants us to be. It's true.
Isn't that wild? It's a wild thing to think that he chose us to be here in this time, in this location, in this, just so what you said earlier, or did you, not intentional, strategic. I can't remember.
I mean, if you truly, believe, in God's plan, and like you just said, like being, that you, of all the little swimmers from your parents, that you were the one, right? Like God chose you, and you're here, and he chose you with purpose and with a plan, and he has that for all of us. And obviously his main purpose is to have a relationship with us, but then carrying out just his love to people. And but in this time, in this, why 2023, like, am I here at this age and this time doing what I'm doing? Like, that's sometimes I think we forget to ask that question, like, God, what is it about this time and this place, in the midst of coming out of COVID or whatever, like just the nation where it's at? Like, what is it about me that you have here that you can use me to further your kingdom? Right? Like, there's purpose in that. It's not an accident. You're not just chilling out, hanging out for just to be here. Like, what is it? How is it that I'm supposed to live out that calling, that to distribute God's love, to carry out that purpose, which is to love people well and to love God and share Jesus with people? Like, what is it about that and where he has you to be able to do that? Because it's not accident. It's very intentional.
Joshua by Casting Lots. There's a Bible study tool on it at BibleStudyTools.com with Tony Evans on dividing the promised land from Joshua 13 to 21. But in Joshua 18, which would have been yesterday, it says Joshua then cast lots for them in Shiloh in the presence of the Lord, and there he distributed the land to the Israelites according to their tribal divisions.
So, yes. Oh, I didn't see that, Mary. God is intentional, very much so.
All right, let's wrap it up. The boys are waking up.
And then here comes our daughter. I can hear the birds chirping twice.
Good morning.
Once on my patio, then in the
Huh?
lab.
I was a fairy.
You were a what? A fairy in your
It goes
dream?
like this. I was a fairy
What's up, Gooch?
in my
I was
dream.
hoping Diesel win all of it.
You were helping Diesel win all of it?
In all of it. In all of it? Or
No.
when?
Win.
Oh.
All of the toys.
All the toys. Isaiah was a fairy in his dream.
Eating hard, my bed was going. So I put my leg on him and he stopped.
They were asleep with him, both of them,
I had barely half the
a while
bed.
ago. All right.
You guys, we talked about this before, but everybody's still, I think everybody could do 7, and 8 was maybe too late after this week. This is our boys' last day of school. Life is about to change drastically, thank God. And hopefully that will include more space very soon. We're just praying for God's timing. We are waiting for God's timing, and the Corps to finish the paperwork that's needed to be done for us to close. So I'm actually so at peace about us not closing this weekend, with Bloom just opening and so much going on there. And I just feel very much in a big work season that's not wrapped up yet. And whereas Chris is like, I don't know, it's kind of different right now. You're in that season of doing less with integrity, and it's like God is preparing space for him, which I love. And so he's been able to work on the budget, and I'm gonna have you do more of that today because I don't have time. But the budget that we need to turn in for Chelsea to submit us for grants, and yeah, but Kim and her family they have to be out by the 1st. So they have a place that they can be. That is another house and land that was his grandma's that they bought for other reasons. Where Brian will do some work stuff there. But yeah, so just pray for the transition to go smoothly. And I'm really excited about the boys being done with school. All I know is it's been hard. It's been exhausting. The testing, plus just this school year was a lot for them. I'm glad for them to be done. Isaiah, quit doing that.
What?
Walking out.
I'm trying to find my school.
But you have to put something on when you come out.
We got him blocked. Nobody knows. Yeah, just prayer for God's timing. So the main thing for me, what you don't see is the little things she does to me if I've made her mad or aggravated her.
Tell
or
that
whatever.
boy to say yes, ma'am. I've been telling him every day.
She took her fingernail and dug it into my hand to say
he was waiting for
don't agree with what you just said. and trying to make a point.
What did you just do?
I
It looks like we're loving on each other here, but really it's getting close to be within range.
You see that? You see that face? Look at that. Yeah. As long as you both have one, it doesn't matter. It's the last day.
It's the last day.
I don't care if you wear anything or not anything, but like what you wear. Like it's the last day. Just wear.
Black shirt.
As far as what are they gonna do? Kick you out? Send you home? No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Okay. I'm trying to get my kids in trouble. So I just, the God's timing of everything with the core, and what the main thing for me is obviously God's timing, and two, that relationship with the core is important because we've got to be with them for the next 100 years, whatever that looks like for this place. So I want to keep that relationship strong. We need to keep it strong. So there's times where it can be frustrating, and it's like, how do y'all not know? And why is this taking so long? And and so as we do this, as I interact with them, I just want it to come across like we're just trying to be patient, and God's got it, because I don't want them upset because they can make our lives miserable. So anyway, or they could just get mad and just be like, man, we're tired of dealing with y'all. And so they could shut the whole thing down. So just trying to keep that relationship and just have favor with them. That's the main thing. And God's got
favor with them. That would be good.
And God's got it. And we do. I mean, they've been really nice. Everything's been great. So I just want to keep it that way.
Yeah. Read a book this weekend. Take a nap. Take off. Clock out. Take care of your body.
Go fishing.
Go cuddling. Go on a date.
We're going on a date tonight.
I got asked on a date last night.
On a date.
It was so sweet.
It was. I was like,
what are we doing tomorrow night?
No, it's not what I said.
Are we going on a date? Will you go on a date with me?
I said, will you go on a date with me? And you said, what?
Because you did not say, will you go on a date with me? You said, are we going on a date tomorrow night? Will you go? You fixed it and said, will you go on a date with me? And I said, can you try that again? And you said, will you go on a date with me? And I said, I suppose. And he said, I said it with the same energy that you asked me to go on a date.
And if it's not raining, I'm going to take the motorcycle. Which I'm excited about. Clearly she is too. All right. You guys have an awesome
We need to get our nails done.
Weekend. So tomorrow,
this weekend, Saturday 9, Sunday 5, just keep it trekking. And I believe I have VIP Sunday at 6, so it won't be, we'll just.
On Memorial Day weekend?
Mm-hmm.
Like just 5? Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you got something at 6. I was going to say, it just seems like that's kind of a weird time for a Sunday, but dude, simmer down. My dog's trying to crawl up here.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Anyway,
a lot of people, everybody's so different on Sundays.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would be easier for us to do it in the morning on Sundays, probably, but everybody's at church.
All right. You guys have a great. Oh, here he comes. Tell everybody hi.
Hi. If Demarion's going, he has to wake up.
I guess our other son's still asleep.
If he's going.
So it's 7:10, and he's still asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He slept in.
He sure did. All right. Let's do this thing.
He left me.
Little guy.
There we go.
Count us out, Zay.
1, 2, 3.
He's where the joy is.
Peace. Have a great
Have
day.
A great weekend.
Great weekend.
We love you guys.
Peace out.
Isaiah, give him a mantra real quick.
If it doesn't change you, it doesn't. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you.
He's saying that every day. He's just sticking with that.
Good.
I love it.
That's good.
I thought about it after you said it yesterday. I thought about it again later in the day. Oh. Bye, guys. Diesel.
What was it?
Diesel knocked out.